Today on MUFC Pulse, we'll dive into some incredibly intriguing news. Manchester United's main target, and Michael Carrick's reaction to Rashford's statement. For more on this story, check out the video. We also have some equally exciting football news coming up, so stay tuned until the end to catch it all. Welcome to MUFC Pulse. Don't forget to subscribe and press the bell for more updates. Manchester United's primary target for the midfield. Manchester United are expected to bolster their midfield department this summer. The Red Devils have already confirmed that Casemiro will be moving on at the end of the season. The club could also part ways with Manuel Ugarte, who has been rather unconvincing as a backup. Consequently, a couple of midfielders could be signed. Ederson has emerged as a top target for the Mancunian Giants, and the Brazilian showed exactly why he is in such high demand on Sunday. The 26-year-old has enjoyed a fine individual season with Atalanta. He showed his class against Milan away from home yesterday, registering a goal and an assist in a victory for Atalanta. The Bergamo outfit was cruising to a 3-0 win until a late charge from the Rossoneri saw two quick goals. They still got over the line, however, and Ederson played a significant role in the outcome. Aside from his goal contributions, Ederson completed 93% of his passes in this match. The Brazilian also won 100% of his tackles alongside 3 duels and made 3 recoveries. With a year left on his contract, he looks poised to pursue a new challenge away from Bergamo in the next transfer window. Atletico Madrid were hot on the trail of the Brazilian but have pulled out of the race after refusing to meet the £39 million valuation. Hence, United have a clear path to recruiting the highly rated ace. They have held a long-term interest in Ederson, having first tried to sign him in 2024 before opting for Ugarte. It wouldn't be a surprise if Ederson ends up at Old Trafford in the coming weeks. Michael Carrick on Marcus Rashford's situation as he eyes staying at Barcelona. Marcus Rashford has openly declared his wish to stay at Barcelona on a permanent basis after successfully helping the Catalan Giants clinch the 2025-2026 La Liga title. The England forward has shown a distinct reluctance to return to Old Trafford, despite his loan spell from Manchester United being due to expire this coming summer. Rashford's form in Spain has been nothing short of stellar throughout the campaign. The pinnacle arrived during a pivotal clash against Real Madrid, where his goal proved to be the decider, effectively sealing the championship for Barcelona. This success appears to have made the player feel quite at home at the Camp Nou under the tutelage of Hansi Flick. In a post-El Clasico interview, Marcus Rashford stated that he is not yet ready to leave the atmosphere of Spanish football and dearly hopes his tenure at Barcelona does not end as a mere one-season loan. Quite candidly, he remarked that he is not magician, and if he could work any magic, he would choose to stay and settle with the Catalan club. Nonetheless, the certainty of his future remains subject to an agreement between the two clubs. Barcelona themselves hold a strong hand in granting the player's wish, as they possess an option to make the move permanent by triggering a €30 million buyout clause. The uncertainty surrounding his future at the Camp Nou has left Marcus Rashford in a somewhat passive position, waiting on the progress of negotiations taking place behind the scenes. Responding to speculation regarding the possibility of Barcelona triggering his permanent clause, Rashford opted for a diplomatic and rather enigmatic answer. He hinted that he is leaving all decisions to the ongoing process and chooses to remain patient to see how the situation eventually unfolds. Even now, Arsenal have joined the race for Rashford. Mikel Arteta's side are reportedly keeping a close eye on the Manchester United forward as a potential option to strengthen their left wing. Marcus Rashford continues to be the talk of the town as his loan spell at Barcelona draws to a close. Previously, Rashford had been sidelined from the team's plans during Ruben Amorim's tenure with the Red Devils. However, the appointment of Michael Carrick as interim head coach at Old Trafford is said to have brought a breath of fresh air. Carrick, who has performed his duties with positive results, is reportedly keen on bringing Rashford back into the fold. Although Carrick's current status remains temporary until the end of the season, internal support for him to stay on permanently is said to be gathering pace. Carrick has already signaled the possibility of working shoulder to shoulder with his former junior at Manchester United should a permanent deal fail to materialize. Marcus Rashford's status remains that of a Manchester United player, with his contract at the club running until 2028. Michael Carrick himself, prior to moving into coaching, was a teammate of Marcus Rashford. This occurred when Rashford, still a youngster, managed to break into the Manchester United first-team squad. It is believed that Carrick is a great admirer of Rashford's style of play and plans to make him a cornerstone of the Red Devils' attack for the coming season. This situation creates a bit of a quandary for Rashford, who has rediscovered his clinical edge in Spain. The final decision on whether he will continue to sport the Barcelona colours or return to Manchester United will be one of the primary talking points of the upcoming summer transfer window, directly impacting the squad composition of both European giants. Addressing the situation, Michael Carrick emphasised that the club is currently in the process of deliberating the futures of several players, including Marcus Rashford, though no final decision has been reached. He acknowledged that a definitive resolution must be made at some point, yet he feels that now is not the appropriate time to disclose such details to the public. From a coaching perspective, Carrick stated his commitment to working with every member of the squad to maximize their potential and aid their career progression. As the team's leader, his primary focus remains on extracting the best possible performance from every individual to achieve the desired results for the club. Michael Carrick stressed that the long history he shares with Marcus Rashford provides a unique perspective in assessing the player's current predicament. For Carrick, Rashford is not merely a club asset, but a figure who has developed immensely since his debut when they shared a dressing room as teammates. He believes that the right environment is the key factor for Rashford to maintain consistent form, whether that be under his guidance at Old Trafford or pursuing his career elsewhere. Carrick maintained that his ultimate goal is to ensure Rashford is in a position that allows him to continue to shine, whilst hinting at intensive communication between himself, the Manchester United board, and the player to find the best solution for all parties before the new season commences. Rio Ferdinand hopes Sen Lamens stays for a decade. Manchester United legend Rio Ferdinand has been singing the praises of gifted young shot-stopper Sen Lamens. Ferdinand reckons the 23-year-old has made a cracking instant impact since joining the Red Devils, even going as far as to predict that Lamens will be guarding the United net for the next 10 years. The former skipper seems absolutely chuffed with how the lad has hit the ground running at Old Trafford. Lamens was brought to Old Trafford from Belgian outfit Antwerp on the very last day of the summer transfer window as part of the club's strategic recruitment. Despite arriving as a relatively fresh face to the cut and thrust of the Premier League, the Belgian keeper has silenced the doubters by putting in remarkably consistent shifts throughout an impressive debut campaign. It is quite clear that the scouting department played a blinder by securing his signature just before the deadline slammed shut. So far this term, Lamens has clocked up 30 appearances across various domestic and European competitions. He began cementing his spot as the undisputed number one following an emotional debut against Sunderland back in early October, and since that moment, has been virtually ever present between the sticks. His rise to prominence has been nothing short of meteoric, leaving other senior keepers on the bench to contemplate their own futures. Lamens' mettle was put to the test once again during Manchester United's goalless draw against Sunderland last Saturday. In a gritty encounter, he emerged as the hero by thwarting a golden one-on-one opportunity from Noah Siddiqui in the opening stages, which immediately buoyed the spirits of his teammates on the pitch. Had that ball gone in, it could have been a proper nightmare for United, but the young keeper stood tall when it mattered most. Furthermore, Lamens showcased his superb reflexes with a brilliant save to deny a stinging effort from Brian Brobby in the second half. Speaking on his personal podcast, Rio Ferdinand Presents, Ferdinand particularly highlighted the youngster's exceptional mentality in high-pressure situations. Rio noted that it takes a fair bit of bottle to maintain such focus when the opposition is constantly knocking at the door. Ferdinand believes the immense composure shown by Lamens has provided vital stability to the United backline when under the cosh. In his view, Lamens' contribution goes beyond just the number of physical saves, extending to the overall positive psychological impact he has on the defenders in front of him. There's a real sense of calm at the back now, as the defenders know they have a reliable pair of hands behind them. Moreover, Ferdinand emphasized that the combination of physical attributes and mental maturity Lamens possesses is quite something, especially considering how young he is for a professional goalkeeper. He is convinced that Lamens is a proper long-term investment and will be the first-choice successor at Old Trafford for a decade to come. Finding a keeper with such a wise head on young shoulders is a rare treat in the modern game. On the other hand, the former England stalwart also stood up for United's collective performance after they struggled to break down Sunderland in their last outing. To him, a draw at the Stadium of Light is hardly a disaster, given that the atmosphere there is well known for being a nightmare for many big sides this season. You have to give credit where it's due, as the Black Cats certainly made life difficult for the visitors all afternoon. To wrap up, Ferdinand urged the fans to keep their feet on the ground and not demand instant perfection from Michael Carrick's squad. For him, the emergence of a talent like Lamens, who stays humble despite being under the media spotlight, is a massive step forward and a solid foundation for the future of Manchester United. If the supporters can keep the faith, there's every chance this project will pay off handsomely in the long run. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comment your opinion.